Hey, it's Glitcher, and this will be a video chart on KATX. Want to get this one as I've gotten quite a few requests on it. And besides that, looking at the chart, absolute beauty. Makes a good little chart lesson at the same time. So I want to get this updated with that. And then it's also a pretty interesting chart in terms of how the resistance levels really thin out. And I'll get to that in a few minutes. But first, let's just start off with kind of a brief little history on the chart here. Taking this high here from back in August, we can draw this trend line, which proved to be very annoying, thorn in the side, whatever you want to call it, for this chart. You can see that it started here, price came up, knocked it down there, knocked it down right there, a couple other times right here, and then right here is where kind of the lesson comes in. You see that a nice volume day right here and closed a little bit above it, but then you can see it kind of hovered right around the trend line. Now the key here was it wasn't pulling away from the trend line, but at the same time, if you look there at that gray line, which is the 10-day simple moving average, it was maintaining that, and that was the key to show that yeah, this trend line wasn't being shattered or anything, but the bulls were strong enough to maintain their price level right down here. So that was a little key there that kind of clued you in that it would have been worth holding this despite not being able to pull away. And then finally, the volume really started to pour in here, and everybody can see the results. Trend line break, huge volume, very nice, or huge price reaction, very nice volume, and everybody, I'm sure has been smiling. So congratulations to those that noticed this trend line. And then on top of that, for the people that were looking for a little bit of extra confirmation, that was provided simply by this purple line here, which is the 50-day simple moving average. When that was broken, that was kind of just like the reassuring slap on the back, saying, "All right, things are going to be good. The bulls are really strong," and then it took off from there. So you kind of had two little buy signals here: the trend line and volume for the initial people, and then for people that were looking for a little additional reassurance, you had the 50-day simple moving average, acting right here too as a good little buy trigger. Now to get to the interesting part of the chart, which deals with the resistance levels, and I'm going to have to pull this out, so this chart's really going to change up real quick, but that's because back here you can see the price really just came down, and the chart pretty much was up in the 20-cent range and then was all of a sudden down here. So that's where the strange price action is coming from. I'm trying to get it so it's not as scrunched up as possible. Let me get this out of here. But real quick, we had this high over here, this previous one, and this is valued at the high right here is at 0.024, and surprise, surprise, that's exactly where the price knocked off of. So this is clearly a resistance, and anybody that uses charts would have seen that this level here is resistance. But this is where the interesting part comes in. After this resistance, look at where the next one is. Not till up here. And the low of this candle here is at 0.065. So essentially, this is a huge gap in terms of resistance levels. Now, if the price breaks it, it's going to fly up there automatically. No, that's not what I'm saying. But from a technical analysis standpoint, this is like a miniature blue sky breakout above 0.024, because the next resistance is literally not until hundreds of percent above up here at 0.065. Now, I do think this will be more of a hefty resistance if the price gets up there, so I'll make the line a little bit thicker, but that's not really the point. The point being is the potential move with any sort of break of this 0.024 region right down here. So once again, judging at the chart, this is a big gap here in terms of where resistances are. And then you look again, and if there was a break of this one, the next resistance isn't way up here until 10 cents. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but that's what's very interesting about this chart is it's gotten through this trend line, showing some nice price action, some nice volume, and it's really got a lot of upside in terms of where previous resistances are and so forth. So it's one of those where yeah, you may feel like you've missed it if you didn't get in down here, but there could still be a possibility to make some good profits on it. So I wouldn't throw it off your watch list or radars quite yet. So that's where the chart stands for now. If you do have any other questions on it, please let me know. I'd also encourage you to check out bullmarketnewsletter.net. If you go there and subscribe to the free newsletter, you'll get a free ebook, which has been getting good reviews. And with your subscription to the newsletter, you'll get trade ideas, chart setups, educational pieces, everything from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And it's one of those things where it's all free, so you got nothing to lose, and it's definitely worth at least checking out. One more time, this was KATX. Thanks for listening.